I nicked it, barely. I'm losing my touch. I'm washed up. I should retire. Just kidding. I'm back, out of retirement. It got cold out again. Have to practice through my window. Just trying to get my mind right. Before going over some sea monkey facts, that's their marketing name. An Artemia, most people call a brine shrimp. The oest of G's names that they had for this thing was an aquatic dog. An Iranian geographer in the 10th century called it an aquatic dog. Found all over the world. Probably not all over every square inch of the world, but all over the world. Inland saltwater lakes, that's their preference. They don't like to cohabitate with fish because they get eaten so ferociously. They are the perfect little thing for fish to eat. Hence why I'm making one as a lure. They are the absolute perfect little thing for fish to eat, and that's a fact because the immature larva versions of these brine shrimp are the things that are most widely used as fish feed, live fish feed. How would you say? These things get choked, smoked, hammered the most out of any other form of fish food. Their eggs are called cysts, and they can lay dormant as long as necessary and hatched on demand. I don't know what they do to hatch them. How do you hatch a sea monkey cyst? How do you hatch eggs? They can dry out and remain viable for years, but if you put brine shrimp cysts in salt water, they hatch very quickly. That's all they need. A drop of salt water and boom, you got a sea monkey from a cyst. They use these poor little sea monkeys as toxicity tests. They are a resilient life form, so they can take the torture. They have become a model organism used to test the toxicity of chemicals. Not only that, but they're marketed as novelty gifts. You can buy a little bag of sea monkeys and feel novel. Why do they say novelty gift? What's the meaning of novelty? The quality of being new, original, or unusual. A small and inexpensive toy or ornament. Wow, novelty has different meanings. We've gotten a little bit off subject, but that's an interesting fact. It can mean unconventional, original, new, fresh, or it can mean trinket, a toy, a trifle, a gewgaw, a gimcrack. I've never heard of that. A knick-knack. Novelty. Anywho, let's get back to sea monkeys. They've been around really long time, blah, blah, blah. I never find that interesting how long something's been around. Millions and millions and billions and okay. It just feels like I should be impressed or something, but I'm not. It's just like, yeah, everything's, I don't know, maybe I'm triggered. But there was a mezzanine salinity crisis a long time ago, and it did stuff to stuff, and here we are. We have sea monkeys now. Fun fact. The Laboratory of Agriculture and Artemia Reference Center at Ginnet possesses the largest known sea monkey cyst collection. It's a cyst bank containing over 1,700 different samples. That's not that much. I'm not impressed. 1,700? I'm triggered. I don't know why. I'm a little sour today towards the sea monkey fun facts. I'm gonna take a deep breath. Maybe it's the different camera angle I have set up. Is my face red? I think it's the lighting. Oh, my face is still a little red. I'm gonna leave the light on. Maybe I need to go make some coffee. It's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm feeling coffee. As if that's gonna make anything better. I'll be right back. Sea monkeys. Okay, all better. These things have super separated eyes mounted on flexible stalks so they can bend around and look anywhere. They have a Napier eye situated in the center of their head. Too. They don't just have those two, there's another one. A brine shrimp can tolerate 250% salinity. I didn't know that was a thing. The optimal range is 60 to 100% salinity. What's 250% salinity? Salinity in the next dimension? What the heck are they tolerating? More than 100%. Maybe you're a chemist and that makes sense. It's not percent. It's some strange little, it's 0/00. So that is parts per thousand. It's parts per thousandage instead of percentage. Anyway, lots of salt. The males differ from females by having the second antennae markedly enlarged and modified into clasping organs. Wow. I think you can understand when that's used. Adult female brine shrimp ovulate every 140 hours. What a cycle. A female brine shrimp can produce an egg that instantly hatches when it's produced. These eggs or cysts can live in temperatures below freezing. They can be in a total stasis for 2 years while there's no oxygen available. It's like little hidden life forms in the substrate. that can just be there until they're ready to hatch. We have taken poor little baby brine shrimp eggs into outer space just to see how the radiation affects them out there. Flown on the biosatellite, 2 Apollo 16 and Apollo 17 missions. Russia did some too. We took little baby brine shrimp eggs to the moon and back. We detected the cosmic rays in the container that they were in. We kept a control group on Earth just to see the differences. They went through 7 times the force of gravity on the way up during blast off, with about 400 eggs in each group. Brought them all back together, put them in salt water so they would hatch, and the results showed they were highly sensitive to radiation. 90% died that were dosed with radiation. Oh, and some of them died at different developmental stages. Those poor baby brine shrimp. In conclusion, radiation bad. I never said how big these are. Total length, 8 to 10 millimeters. I'm a little off. Giant brine shrimp, max absolute Chad sea monkey would be a 1/2 inch long. Those are the big specimens. Oh, and those are usually female. What's the female version of the name Chad? That'd be an absolute Stacy sea monkey. Fun facts are over. So to take this piece out of the mold, I'm gonna have to cut. This paddle will be pretty submerged with pieces of silicone over it. I just have to make a cut that way. Time to seal the wood. Look what I got. I went to a fisherman's swap meet the other day, and for the first time in my life, I bought lure blanks to paint. Needed something to hang from. I've been saving this for a special occasion. The time has come. Now I don't know if it's too strong and I'm about to shoot a light out. Where'd it go? We just demolished that wasp. I'd like to welcome a new family member of the channel. I no longer fear wasps. I look forward to their presence. Dude, it's been like 2 days, 70 degrees out, and I already have a wasp coming in. If it's warm enough, they're instantly out and about. It takes CO2 canisters. This isn't an ad or anything, I'm just showing you. And it's got little preloaded chunks of salt. I always save the Tupelo scraps. They start fires so quick. This is the base for the mold box. That's so stuff can actually be glued to it. It's a bit tougher to do that with a gloss finish. Man, UV resin is so fast. If you can ever get a light source at what you're trying to glue up, I just use UV resin anymore. And you can just set it in the sun for a bit if you're concerned at all about the glue up. A little off center, but that does not matter. I'm gonna give it a few layers of this stuff. Oh, I didn't need to cut it. High strength 3. Make sure we're nice and mixed. Woo. That's a nice thing about silicone. You can just peel it out of the bucket you were using. And it's gone. Ready for another. 1 to 10. I'm having regrets pouring it this way. This is gonna be an absolute mess. And I didn't need 20 ounces, but that's what we got. Never mind, I just completely saved it. We're good, this isn't that much of a mess. That nice fluid swiping, twisting of the wrist, catching the excess thing I did right there was perfect. That'll fill it up all the way with a little bit of excess, so I'm not too sad about that. So 2 ounces of this and a splash more. There was a tick on Chip the other day, and I cut its head off with this knife, so I'm like afraid that there's Lyme disease on it now. I should sanitize it. When in doubt, just spray it with isopropyl alcohol. That is the most standardizable rule of life. Okay, 2 ounces. No convenient applicator, squirty little nozzle on this, just a hole to be careful not too much pours out of. Just splashed on my laptop. And a splash more. Okay, this was a harder container to deal with than a bucket. Splashed everywhere. Some Brazilian rosewood. This is a stirring stick of an aristocrat. It's got a 45-minute working time, so I'm gonna stir it slow and not froth a bunch of bubbles into it. That way I don't have to vacuum it. It's weird how that liquid turns more pink as you stir. You can kind of pick it up like this and look at what's dripping. And if you see white streaks, keep stirring. But if it's one color, you don't need to stir this silicone for as much as you would a clear coat on a lure. It's looking fine to me. Let's pour it. I feel like I mixed like twice as much as I need now after adding the catalyst. Let's see. Dude, what happened to my silicone? Is the working time like 45 seconds for this? I don't want to pour that. What happened? There's like no flow to that. There's no way this could pour good. I can take like almost all this out on a stick and it sticks to it. And it says the work time is 45 minutes. It's been like 10. That would trap so much air if I tried to pour that in that mold box. That's kind of annoying. Bro, what a waste. It was like 150 bucks to get this to my door. So, I'm gonna go buy another bucket. I don't have another one of these, and I'm just gonna let this cure inside of this bucket. Pull it out later. Why did it cure so fast? Okay, I just went out and got a different kind of silicone altogether, I think. If nothing else, it'll be from a different batch and hopefully not cure instantly. Just gonna use a fat popsicle stick to stir this. It smells different, therefore it's different. It's producing the same color silicone though. It's making me nervous. Stir, 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 stir. I feel it thickening up already. Oh my goodness. This is making me so nervous. Stir, 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 stir. Much better. Nine ounces would have been enough instead of 20. Just trying to get in between each leg and poke. Hopefully pull out any air bubbles if there are any. If any air is trapped in there, it'll rise out. In the time it took me to come back from the hardware store, this stuff is completely set up. I think that's gonna be a slingshot target now, after I'm done beating my frustrations out. Okay, maybe, just maybe, we can open this without destroying the original. Maybe. Just gotta be able to grab an edge and peel it up. I heard a crack. Yep. We broke one leg out of the 22. Feels like a good mold though. It's not sticky anywhere. I'll just be picking at it like this for a few minutes. This is pulling off the flashing. You guys see the flashing everywhere on the edges. I want to get rid of all that. And then we need to pull out that paddle. I knew the paddle was gonna stick in there. And I'm just gonna cut straight down against the paddle. And that will be its way out right there. But it closes back up when you let the mold rest. I almost completely forgot about the eyeballs with the flexible stalks. Pick those out too. Those broke off too. They need extracted. Doing an eyeball extraction here. I feel like a surgeon, an aggressive surgeon. Grab that and pull. Eyeball. The sea monkey mold is ready for hot plastic. Can't believe that stayed focused that much. It was a good camera. See how this comes out. Little flashy. It's okay. We can pick it off. Okay, the eyes did not turn out. I'm gonna have to be careful with those, like bend this mold and pour those in first or something. Maybe we'll make a fancy one next and I'll segment the pour more and it'll turn out better. Lots of heat gunning between pours and stuff. But let's rig this up and test and see if that tail works. What does this sea monkey do? Dude, I did not need to add that paddle because the legs do everything. The paddle does nothing. The legs are incredible. They shimmy. We're gonna do this. Just rip that paddle off. I might do that in a more surgical manner from here on. Dude, the legs are so good, they shake on the fall. I probably need to get my phone to show you this. It looks like a real sea monkey. It's got some good flap to the body on the twitch. This is great. That's perfect. I shouldn't have put the paddle on. So I'm just gonna pour up a bunch of these, try to make it so the eyes turn out every time I pour. Carefully slice off the paddle each time and build up a collection of sea monkeys. Trying to get this really hot so the plastic flows out to the ends of those legs. A little bit of non-filling out. That was a lot better though. This is the best pour yet. See on the edge there's a spot didn't fill out. A few back here. When I pull this whole thing out, it'll look like it's completely filled out though. So I gave filling in these eyes like a 6 out of 10 effort. See if it worked. No, it didn't. That paddle fills out so good. I didn't try at all because I knew I was gonna cut it off anyway. And it just filled up. How unfortunate. The legs, even though they didn't extend all the way to the end of the mold, they still look as they should. Went for a darker head, white body. Those eyes, man. I might have to cut a slit along the length of those eyes and open up the mold right there to pour each one. That's like 10 out of 10 effort. Let's just crank it up to 10 and do that. So I wanna like stick the blade down there first and come out. I don't wanna come in from the top and miss. Okay, that'll do. And I think I can just pull it like this while I pour, and that opens it up enough to get in there and close it. Here we go. All right, let's not get any on my thumb. I could feel the heat for a second. I'm gonna pour that out. Those legs did not fill, so I resorted to a bit of a retreat and I poured out a bunch. It'll look good still. I have the opportunity now to add another color too. So the sea monkey won that battle, but it did not win the war. Might have poured a little too much there. That'll turn out good. It'll have different colors throughout the leg even. Legs, I just added some fluorescent red to that pearl white for that color. That'll be an interesting look. The eyes! They turned out. Ah, dang it. They're kind of flat on the bottom, but they look like they turned out. This one looks pretty good. There's some color variation in there. I do need to keep my mold hot before I make the first pour though. I think it looks better when those legs fill out in the first pour. You get some pretty severe, unavoidable cold cracking from color to color in the legs. This mold would burn to a crisp before I could make the legs hot enough to not cold crack, it seems. But we got some eyes out of that pour. Awesome. Okay, the first spot is just a fail. I fished with everything, even stuff like this. I went to a different spot. Here we go. I think it just wasn't deep enough at the spot before. Dang, man. More. 4 more. I'm gonna give the sea monkey 4 more opportunities to not snag and catch a fish. Camera, baits, pole, coffee. Camera, baits, pole, coffee. SD cards are in camera, not forgetting anything. Truck. This is pretty much gonna be the windiest day in recorded history ever, so be ready for some noises. Spat on you guys, I'm sorry. But it's super duper nice out, and we're driving over an hour away to go to a spot I've never been. A 200-year-old spillway. On a river I've never fished with a sea monkey. We're gonna bounce our sea monkey around a 200-year-old spillway. Let's go do that. Try not to blow off the road. There's the river. And the spillway is way over there. This is something I just looked at Google Maps with and thought it'd be all right. I don't know, maybe it's still the answer to all of my problems right now. My sea monkey problems. I don't know if I'm supposed to park here either. There's a tank over there. Let's get a sea monkey rigged up. That looks funny with the antenna. Wowzers. So I think I'm gonna need to park at some random place of business. They probably won't mind. I like this little town though. Seems nice. I just cut somebody off, sorry if you're watching this. Cutting off the locals. Okay, I don't know if this will get me there or if I can get there from here, but here we go. I think I'm good. I'm gonna leave the big camera in here because I'm moving around so much. I wasn't expecting a grand entrance to the fishing spot like this. It's got permanent rod holders. Whoa, just bolted into the earth or the concrete. That's awesome. You guys see all those shad? There was a big school of them right there. Look at them. They love the sea monkey. I just had a bite. Dang it. Dude, that was very close to being official. Okay. Fish on! Don't lose it, don't lose it, it's official. It is finally official. Smallmouth like sea monkeys. Whew, it's official. First open water fish of the year. A little smallie. Be free. The travel was worth it. This old spillway was worth it. I like this spot. There's so much to fish. We did it. That was successful. The most successful video yet this year. You think your spots are good, you know? But they're not. You gotta go to new spots. This is an amazing place. I just needed to like actually come down here and check it out. And I really like it. Good stuff. Check out new spots, fellas. I highly recommend it. Cause smallmouth like sea monkeys. Good job, little sea monkey. On to the next bait. Grab that. Oh, I'll just be picking at it. It smells different. Don't lose it, don't lose it. What happened? I'm triggered. Lots of salt.